Wow, friends! I have breaking news to share with all of you this afternoon. President Biden is now debating on taking executive action. Top Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, are trying to pass legislation that would change Social Security for years. This comes as Republicans propose several big changes. Sadly, many Americans that receive monthly benefits may see a big benefit decrease in just a few weeks. So, dear friends of mine, please make sure you watch until the end of this video for the complete details. Also, I will be giving away 4 $75 Walmart gift cards every week. Please make sure that you click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. During the months of October, November, and December, I will be surprising several of you with $200 gift cards. It's a way of saying thank you so very much, friends, for joining me here every day when I post a new video. Democrats facing relentless GOP attacks over high inflation appear to be narrowing in on the defensive programs like Social Security and Medicare as they seek in the final weeks of the midterm cycle. It is to boost their standing with voters who say they are more distressed about our economy. In recent days, President Biden and top lawmakers on Capitol Hill have boasted that they'll stifle any attempt to cut the programs, seizing on both the rising likelihood that the Republicans wrest back control of at least one chamber of Congress next month, and plans from GOP lawmakers that could curtail the entitlement programs as part of the broader government spending changes. With conservatives favored to retake the House around the same time that the federal government approaches its debt limit, GOP politicians have suggested they will use negotiations on raising that threshold as leverage to extract come into play. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy, who is expected to serve as Speaker if his party wins control of the chamber in the midterms, said he would not predetermine anything. Republican Representative Nancy Mace casted spending negotiations over the debt ceiling as a matter of fiscal responsibility. She has told CNN News the federal government just kept getting record revenue year over year and hasn't had to make those tough decisions. Florida's Rick Scott, the chair of Senate Republicans, also released a plan earlier this year saying all federal funding, including for entitlements, should be sunset every 5 years, which would subject money for the programs to repeated votes in an increasingly polarized Congress. Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson has likewise called to make Social Security funding discretionary, but contended he wanted to fix rather than eliminate the program. Democrats right now are pouncing on those remarks, and others suppose what they hope will be a clear and cutting contrast with Republicans. Senator Bernie Sanders echoed that message on CBS News, stating, "You know what Republicans are talking about? Cuts in Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. It is absolutely irresponsible." Friends, the key word for this video is North Pole, Alaska. If you would like to enter the next Walmart gift card giveaway, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below this keyword, which is North Pole, Alaska, and additional keywords of any video of mine that you watch. And do make sure, friends, that you are subscribed to my channel. President Biden is also authorizing the Democratic National Committee to transfer $10 million to House and Senate Democratic campaign committees, and is also pledging to help raise $8 million for party candidates. A senior party official who's familiar with the plans told CBS News the president's decision to distribute the money, which he can authorize as the head of the Democratic Party, comes as he continues to play a more public role in electing Democrats. But President Biden has proved to be an effective fundraiser, holding events in recent weeks in California, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania, And another big fundraiser is scheduled for next week in the state of Florida. The plan is to distribute $5 million each to the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee and Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, meaning the DNC has transferred a total of $27 million so far this cycle. Separately, the U.S. president is vowing to help raise another $8 million for the two campaign committees. Recent CBS News polling found that House Republicans continue to lead Democrats, but CBS News estimates that the majority they are expected to win has been narrowing. Most immediately, the election will determine what President Biden can get done for the rest of his term, and whether any of his remaining policy goals can go through Congress through executive orders, which future presidents can more easily undo. So friends, who do you think will win the midterm elections? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Well, my greatest and dearest friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me here every day when I post a new video. I greatly appreciate all of you. The winner of yesterday's Walmart gift card giveaway is Joseph Landry. Congratulations, my dear friend. To claim your gift card, please check your notifications page and send me an email. Or you can also send me a message on my Facebook page. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful and blessed day.
Well, how do we know this? We see some of the statistics I talk about. Well, I know it because West Virginians have lived it, and I hear from them frequently about their legitimate concerns. A retiree from Clarksburg, West Virginia, wrote to me recently saying that she and her husband are struggling every month, despite having done their due diligence to save well for their retirement. She says they're trying not to dip into their 401ks or their TSP retirement accounts, but that it is getting harder and harder to not do that. As inflation drags on, the lifespan of retirement savings will continue shrinking for our seniors in West Virginia, and those seniors account for 41% of our population. Another West Virginian wrote to me about the tough choices her family is making, and I quote, "The economy has crumbled in the blink of an eye. My husband and I have full-time jobs and 2 children. I'm tearful because I sit here looking at these upcoming bills and I'm having to decide to pay a bill or to buy groceries," end quote. A resident from Weston, West Virginia, told me that his insurance premiums recently increased. And when he asked the company why that happened, they told him point blank it was due to inflation. In the same letter, the constituent wrote to me, quote, "This crazy spending has got to stop." But it's not just West Virginians who are experiencing this inflationary problems. The National Defense Industrial Association, authored in part by former Deputy Defense Secretary David Norquist, released a white paper recently that indicated that inflation has cost the Department of Defense $50 billion and estimates that it will cost an additional $110 billion to our nation's defenses from fiscal year 2021 through fiscal year 2023. Think about this in the face of what we're talking about in terms of trying to help Ukraine overcome this terrible invasion by the Russians. Residential real estate has skyrocketed 43% in the past 2 years. In fact, this year, mortgage rates have risen from 3.2% to 6.3%, which is the highest they've been since 2008. Setting all kinds of records here, Mr. President. So some are going so far as to predict an additional 17.8% rise in home prices over the next year. A recent paper released by Goldman Sachs, aptly titled "The Housing Downturn Further to Fall," warns that higher mortgage rates and reduced affordability will continue well into 2023. For first-time home buyers, that spells a death knell to their dream of owning their own home. Again, what we're seeing in real time are direct consequences of inflation fueled by spending. The increase in price of groceries is unbelievable. It's unbelievable when you go to the grocery store. Over the past year, the price of basic pantry staples has continued to increase. Cost of eggs has gone up 40%. butter 24.6%.